Alright, short and sweet. We gotta get out of here. They had the truck in the shop for a PM, so we're getting a little bit of a later start. Not late start, but a little bit later start. So can't do a lot of pre-trip talking. We gotta get rolling. So we got 5 Hazletons today, 3 out of Tamaqua, 2 out of Hazleton. So we're gonna get going here. We'll talk to you along the way as best we can. Alright, so you know the routine. We are here loading up the first one. Like I said, beautiful day out today, 75 degrees, hardly any air, hardly any wind. So it's just about as fine a spring day as you can get. I wish we could bottle it up and have it for the rest of the week, but we're going to get another one of them pesky upper level lows like I was telling you about. And the rest of the week just going to be pretty dang crappy. So it's Monday. I figured I'd bring the cameras out today and do a video while we have some nice weather. Plus tomorrow I'm off. I have an eye doctor's appointment, and the wife's gonna have to take me to that one because they're gonna dilate me, and I'm gonna need a ride home. So but I figured I'd do the video today, and of course there's gonna be a rainy video later in the week, but for now we got a nice day today, so we'd try and give you a nice weather video. We don't get to do too many of those around these parts right now, so hopefully that changes, but it is what it is. We can't control the weather as much as we'd like to, but Alright, well, we have a pretty formidable hill here to climb up ahead of us. On the other side is traffic light, which I was hoping would stay green, because getting this light red makes it even more formidable hill. It's not a super long one, but it's fairly steep, and the road is in bad need of repair, so it's also very bumpy. But it'll pull us down slower than the Blue Mountain does. By the time we get up top, we'll be doing under 30 miles an hour. And maybe they are doing some repairs. I see that right lane's closed on the southbound side, so maybe they're doing some patchwork at least. This needs to be milled down, the base needs to be repaired, and it needs to be repaved from shoulder to shoulder because it is just in bad shape. But outside of that, maybe they're patching some of these holes and expansion joints that have opened up to make this thing really rough. A little change of plans though. We were going to load our first 3 out of Tamaqua and then get our last 2 out of Hazleton. But, oh, you see what I mean by being bumpy? But we're going to alternate 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, because Tamaqua well is slow. Only 1 pump is working. There's 2 pumps, but only 1 pump is working. So it's only pumping at half the rate it normally does. And so we're going to alternate so we can give it time to recuperate, and so that the silo can fill up, so we don't go down to 100 gallon a minute. Right now we were pumping at 250 a minute, where normally it pumps at 450 a minute. So we're going to alternate them to try and give the silo a chance to fill up a little bit, so I can keep a halfway decent rate. As you can see, the 2 things I mentioned, that this hill is going to really pull me down, and kerbang, it's pretty bumpy. Those are the tow bars. There's tow bars that go into the front bumper in case this thing needs to be towed. They are behind the passenger seat, and they clang and bang together when you hit a pretty decent sized bump, so it gets a little noisy in here. We're down to 27 miles an hour. We can pull the Blue Mountain at about 30 to 32 miles an hour. So this one, a little bit shorter, but a little bit steeper. And of course, once we get up the top, then we got the ramp to 81 that we use to get on the freeway for a few miles till we get to our exit. So between Tamaqua and this hill, it's a little bit faster than going down to Fogelsville, but not by much. So, and that is not any kind of road construction. I think they're working on power lines or TV cable lines, or high-speed internet lines or something. They've been working all over Tamaqua, and I see that's the company that has that lane shut down. So they must be doing something with the communications wires and not the road itself. So now we take this connector road here, about 3/4 of a mile. To the west of us is the interstate. It doesn't actually intersect with 309, so they built this connector ramp to get you over to the interstate. Now, I am not going to be able to do the flip to get onto the pad like I normally do. I'm going to have to blindside it in here. There's looks like a wrecker truck there, a tow truck or some kind of weird truck parked there, and we got a van coming out, so we got to let him come in. Is this guy going to leave? No, he's got his compartments open yet. So we're going to have to blindside onto this pad here to our right. Really nowhere to flip around, not with this thing. Oh, he's got to tow that yard goat, I guess. So we're gonna put both windows down so we can see and hear what's going on. And hope we can pull this off. I sure wish I had that camera in the back window. Probably should have pulled up just a little further. Oh, boy. All kinds of action here that shouldn't be. Still got to get lined up just right. And of course, that four-wheeler there wanting to come in, you're gonna have to wait a little bit till I get this done. There we go. Didn't take too long. I just should have pulled up further, but I didn't want to freak that guy out when he was getting his equipment out of his truck, so. But we are unloading the third one here as we speak. Probably got about 1,000 gallons off it, so maybe another 15-20 minutes and then we'll be out of here. A little noisy. We got a resin truck over there unloading, and when they unload and it goes through the pipes, it makes a lot of noise. But we're gonna head on up when we're done here and get that second one out of Hazleton and give Tamaqua a chance to recover. Otherwise, we'll be loading at 100 gallon a minute instead of 250 gallon a minute. We should load at 450 a minute, but as long as we can get enough water in that silo, we can unload a little bit better. And there he goes. He rolling off with that yard goat. Nice sounding straight pipes there. But anyway, like I said, gonna give that well a little time to recover, and then we'll be able to load a little faster than if we go right back there for the second one. So we'll talk to you en route back over to the Hazleton well or up there while we're loading. All right, we are here. Now let's see what the rain did to this road. Looks like it washed some out right here. This is kind of a rough road as it is. I don't know how much the rain damaged it, if any, but yeah, you can see spring has finally sprung up here. Hazleton and up through the Poconos and the Laurel Highlands in western PA are some of the last places to green up in the state. A couple weeks back we were in here and it looked like wintertime yet, but finally starting to green up here in Hazleton, which is nice. So it's going to look like summer everywhere we go now. But it doesn't matter if the temperature is nice. It doesn't matter if it looks like summer or not. But it is greening up here. It makes it a little bit prettier. And the rain didn't really do much damage to the road. It's still got its washboard. And I was hoping nobody was going to be here, and nobody is here. So that's a good thing. We'll be able to back right on. Now the only thing is, this trailer the inlet and the valve is closer to the bumper than on the other trailers I was pulling, so I may have to reposition. I may not get close enough, or I may get too close. This one's a hard one to judge because you got to back up to it to load. The other ones I have dialed in. We back up at the Red Barn location, but then the Tamaqua location we just kind of a pull through. So see if I get it right on the first shot. I don't know if that's right or wrong. We'll find out when we get back there. Stop recording. Nailed it first time. Like I said, the other ones are recessed back. This one actually is out past the bumper, but I nailed it. All right, so we're loading this one up, and according to a sticky note that was in there, the meter was off for a while, and we'd have to put like 7,000 gallons in, according to the meter, to fill a 6250 tanker. But there was a sticky note there that said that that was fixed, so now we backed it off to 6,200 reading, so we'll see if it auto shuts off at just the right amount to load us up fully and properly, or if I'm going to have to bump start to put a little more in to get us full or not. Generally we load till it just slightly overflows, and then we shut it down, and if it's set up properly, it will do it on its own and shut down at just the right moment. So I've been here for a couple weeks, so we'll see if it truly is fixed and if I put it on the right setting for my trailer. Because the other setting is 62, it's 6,062 and 64, and I just had to shake a B off the phone, so sorry about that. 6,062 and 64, so I didn't want to do 64 because it would just flow over and flood the parking lot. So we're going to try 62 and see what that does, and then this bee keeps flying around me. And we'll see what that does, and if we have to bump it open a little bit to put a little extra in, then that's what we'll do. But we're loading, won't take us long, and we'll be out of here. So 6,200 was the sweet spot. It trickled out just a little bit out that vent, which is what we want it to do. Very little, as you can see, so perfection. All right, so we're back again. We're gonna let these two guys get around this bend here. This is technically a one-way, but they let us tankers and the resin tankers come in this way, so we don't have to go through the security checkpoints in and out and loop around the front of the building where the loading docks are. So we have special permission to do this, but always yield right away to the ones that are going the way they're supposed to, so to speak. So now I should be able to do the flip like I normally do here, because that wrecker is out of the way. I'm going to swing it wide to the left here and then spin her around in front of the unloading pads here, and there's just enough room to do it. Like I said, this has a terrible turning radius, and I might still have to back up because I couldn't get close enough because of those two Schneider trucks parked there. Yep, see? And I'm walled. That is all the turning radius that I have, so I still got to back up. Even with all that room. This truck just has a terrible turning radius that I've mentioned numerous times, but there's a good example of it, because that was walled. I just could not turn it any sharper. So yeah, these Schneider trucks that are parked here kind of messed me up a little bit. Still gonna mess me up just a little bit. I don't know why they're parked there. Oh yeah, they messed me up big time. I am a better backer than this. Not to toot my own horn, but I just kind of started cutting it too soon, I guess. I don't know. will still have to pull up and reposition. Yeah, normally I don't have that much trouble. Y'all have seen me back. But that Schneider truck is parked way up too far. He should be back closer to the curb, the one to my right there. Oh, this is not my finest hour. I'm gonna have to pull up again. Now I wiggled myself too far to the left, I think. Oh, well, we all have our moments where we can't hit the blind side of a barn. Alright, so yeah, that was not my finest hour backing up a tractor trailer. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I just got all discombobulated on that one. I did my blind side pretty good for what it was, and then I nailed the stopping point at Hazleton loading location, and then I come up here and I just totally blew that back right out of the water. Like I said, so I must have drew the rookie card today, and so that was pretty bad. We won't let that happen again. You're right. Even the most experienced drivers had their moments, and that was mine. Oh man. But we're unloading the next one. Gonna be going back down through Tamaqua to get it down there. Like I said, we're gonna alternate our loads. And all right, so back here to Tamaqua we go. Let's hope it's gonna be loading a little bit better this time. Like I said, last time we were running it 250 gallon per minute instead of the regular 450 gallon per minute. So we will see what happens when we get here. Supposedly they turned the second pump on. I don't know. But as far as this morning was going, when I talked to one of our other drivers who was in there, they said only one pump was going. So that's the problem. The silo doesn't fill up as fast, and if you put a couple trucks in there too close together, then the silo drains, and then you're running off the pumps. And if you're running off the pumps and only one pump is going, it is going to be a slow process. So this guy's cutting grass. Try and get it done before the rains come. Don't get it cut today, you're not going to probably get it cut for a few days. This one here is weed whacking. He's probably going to cut later after he weed whacks. So I should be the only one. I'm thinking that nobody else would have been in here since I was in here earlier. This is not one of our busier well locations. We try to keep it to a minimum, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, the pad is dry, so nobody was here since I left. If somebody would have been in here recently, there would have been residual water on the pad. So it's dry, so we were the last one in here. Alright, we're here. Let's load up the third one. Alright, almost done loading. The rate's a little better than it was before. It was at 250, we're at 325 right now, but it's still not where it should be, so we're gonna get our next one out of Hazleton and then come back for load number 5 and see where we're at then. But we're almost done. We couldn't reset it. Sometimes it glitches and you can't reset, so I gotta wait until we get to 12.4 and then I'll be full. Alright, it's 4 p.m. and that is not a good time to go through Tamaqua. We are probably going to run into traffic backup before we ever get into town. Usually it starts around Owl Creek Road, so we'll have to see when we get up there. Right now we're going past Fegley's South Tamaqua gas station here, and there's times, you know, on real bad days where it's backed up all the way to here. But see, here's the first sign for it. Watch for stopped vehicles next 1 mile. So it gets kind of dicey. We'll let you know when we get there. Stop recording. Alright, this is Owl Creek Road, so it's actually looking pretty good. This is usually where the backup begins. And for as long as I can remember, the local custom was to straddle the zipper here and single file it all the way up into town. But see, they put these signs up here that say use both lanes to merge point, and now everybody's being a real stickler about using both lanes. I mean, I don't know what's right and what's wrong, but like I said, local custom, all the locals around here used to just sit there in the middle and single file it right into town. It seemed like it moved pretty good, but you know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. There's arguments on both sides of that fence. But yeah, this is really good. I'm kind of surprised. It's 4:05 right now, so, and we're coming right in here. I mean, obviously we're going to stop and sit through a few traffic lights, but we're doing really good to get all the way up here to the railroad tracks before we come to a stop. I'm kind of surprised at that. And then we're gonna, actually the light's green up there, so we're actually not gonna sit here too long. We're gonna move up. We'll get that light red again. It's not gonna be long enough for us to get through it, but this is really good for the time of day that it is. This town just is a traffic nightmare. It's kind of stupid the way the traffic patterns are. You've got this left turn lane here for Spruce Street, and as soon as you get through the intersection, you got to take it to the left, because for Cedar Street up here, it's a right turn lane. And you get to the 5 Points intersection up there, which is the next traffic light beyond this one, and you've got to be back in the right lane again. So once we get moving, we'll talk to you a little bit more. Stop recording. All right, so we're moving now, but we're probably going to get stopped at the 5 Points light. Of course, we're behind this container, so once we get stopped, there won't be a view. That's why I kind of stopped the recording until we get going again. But we're going to sit back a little bit just in case somebody comes out of this alley here. And then the light turned green already, so we won't be sitting too long. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised, because I kind of thought we'd be sitting for a while coming into town, but we got in here real nice. That light up there is red. Hosey door's open. Wonder what they're doing in there. That is one of our 3 volunteer fire departments here in town, and we've got a really good volunteer fire department here. The number of homes that they save in a location that has 100-year-old homes, mostly row homes and half doubles, dry rotted wood, and they save a lot more houses than they lose. We've got an excellent fire department here for a volunteer fire department. Yeah, we made it through town quite well. I am impressed. All right, so we're empty with this third one. Now we're gonna head off to get load number 4. We're gonna go back up here to the Hazleton location and get it. So we'll talk to you somewhere. 5 loads. I'm running out of things to say and do. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, we are loaded with the 4th one. 2nd one out of Hazleton, last one out of Hazleton for the night, because then we are going to get our 5th one out of Tamaqua. Like I told you, we were going to alternate loads tonight. And I can make a right turn on red. I just wanted to make sure what that brown pickup truck was doing before I did it. So we are getting on 81 southbound. We're only going to be on it for about 2.5 miles maybe, and we jump right back off there on 924 to go back to the plant. So this is real close. You could probably turn 8 or 9 of these in a shift if you got them all out of this particular well. But we usually don't, because it's a busy one with some of the other companies hauling water out of there. So we kind of split them up between Tamaqua and here when we come up to this plant. Hopefully I get some speed up here. Oh, Midland's gonna move over. Okay. Midland was coming up that right lane. I don't know if he's gonna have enough juice to pass me or not, because I do have power. I can get going here before we start pulling the hill up to 924. See what I mean already? I just got on the freeway and there's a sign for the exit, 1 3/4 mile. So actually only about 2 miles on the freeway till we get back off it. But I get a good move on here. It's flat. Once you climb up out of the valley there north of Hazleton, it flattens out for a little bit before it starts climbing a little bit of a grade again. So I get myself up to speed here, and then I'll lose it a little bit. You can kind of see ahead where it starts to go up the hill. It's 5:38 p.m. and we're taking the 4th load over there. So then once we get that unloaded, then we just got dropped down in Tamaqua and get the 5th one. So we shouldn't get done too late tonight, despite having 5 loads. The 2 short ones up here really help speed things up a little bit. Like Amazon is losing its speed right quick here. You're gonna make me lift my foot up off the throttle. I gotta slow down even more than what the hill is slowing me down. And you notice the sky is getting grayer. I just looked at the weather forecast, and by 4 a.m. we should start getting showers already. So we'll stay dry the rest of the night. But then by morning, we've got a chance of showers, and then just in the next 2 days, we could get up to 2 inches more rain, and they want rain right through the week, into the weekend. So I don't know what kind of totals we're going to end up with this week, but everything is super saturated from last week's rain, so there's really nowhere for it to go. There's still a lot of high streams, and even on that back road going back to the well, you could see where there was water runoff running down the side of the road. So everything's saturated, so we really don't need any more rain, but we'll see what happens, see how much we get, if we get any flooding or not. That was nice. We got this light green here and we didn't have to stop. So we're already almost at the plant, and it does not take long to get there from that particular well. So we'll get this one unloaded and head down to Tamaqua and load that one up, get her up here and delivered. Alright, so we just finished up our paperwork inside, and now we're just waiting for this thing to finish loading up, and then we'll be on our way northbound with the 5th one. So this will be the 5th and final one of the night. Everything went pretty good, except for that first load. The rate was down a little bit, and actually it was down a lot, so it took a while to load that first one, but it improved with each successive load down here. Right now we're probably only about 75 gallons off of what the normal rate is, so staggering the loads between here and Hazleton really helped let this thing build back up, get back to normal. So by the time somebody comes out here on the overnight shift, it should be back up and running at its normal speed, and they'll have a pretty good night depending on how many they get out of here. So alright, well, we pretty much lost our blue skies from earlier. I mentioned that it was starting to get a little more cloudy. The high clouds are starting to roll in, and they're getting a little thicker each time we come up this way. When we come around this bend here, you'll see that the sun is just about covered up. The thicker clouds are starting to move in from this upcoming storm system, upper level low that we're gonna have. We would have bright sun right in our face if it wasn't for these clouds. You can kind of see them. Oh boy, this is gonna be bumpy. Ooh, I forgot about that bridge. I forget about it all the time. I always like to try and drift into that left lane before I go over that bridge, but I forgot about it. I guess maybe because I was talking to you guys. A lot of times there's traffic and I can't move over, but this time there was no traffic and I could have moved over and I didn't think about it. But yeah, anyway, we are, like I said, losing our blue skies, and we probably won't see them again for the rest of the week. Maybe a little bit here and there like we did last week, but by and large it's gonna be a rainy week following today. So getting off here at 924 from the other direction. Make a left here, go across the freeway. Oh, the light turned green before we even got here. That was kind of sweet. Usually I have to stop. Look at that. It's almost like I pushed a switch when I hit the ramp. Well, I think you know what we're gonna say before we even say it. We are backed in here and we are unloading the 5th load of the night here in Hazleton. Running out of things to talk about. It started out good the first few rounds. What helped was alternating our well locations between Hazleton and Tamaqua, so it changed the trip up a little bit. But the destination has been the same for all my loads, so kind of running out of things to say. But my day isn't finished yet, and I just want to show you what I got going on. We'll be going through Tamaqua. It'll be dusk, heading towards dark till we get down there. So maybe we'll show you that, or maybe we'll just wait till we get to the yard and talk to you to close the segment out. But yeah, this is why I can't grow my subscribers, and why my view counts always sit at about 100 per video, because everybody knows what I do every day. There's no specialness to it. There's nothing unique about it. No bridges or tunnels or anything cool that we can shoot and talk about along the way. So it's just kind of monotonous. We are heading southbound, and we're about to roll through Tamaqua here. Traffic should be pretty light this time of night. It is 8:18 p.m., so no real traffic problems at this time of day in this town. So, but I got to apologize a little bit for that last segment. That was a little bit on the negative side. I don't know, I just really got down on that last load. I guess going to the same destination 5 times kind of got to me a little bit. Yeah, we alternated our pickup points, but the destination was the same, and it just kind of, I don't know, for some reason it just kind of got old. I kind of like when we do multiple destinations. Like if I would have done maybe 1 or 2 Hazletons, and then like
couple of Fogelsvilles and then finish it off with an Allentown. That would have been nice. Would have changed up the scenery, and we would have been going to different places, which is kind of the way I like to run. I don't like just going to the same place on all my loads. I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of how this fleet works, but it's not my favorite way to truck. I kind of like destination running, where I'll pick up a load somewhere like a distribution center and say take it down to Philly, and then get down there and empty out, and then maybe go down the road a little bit and pick up another load, and maybe gonna go to Harrisburg or York, and I'll deliver that, and then maybe I'll deadhead back to the yard or the dedicated customer, or maybe pick up a backhaul that goes back to the dedicated customer or something. But that gives you a nice variety, and you end up doing kind of like a big loop sometimes, or whatever. You're not just repeating your steps all night or all day long, depending on the shift you work. Alright, so we got a real parking spot tonight. During the week, some of the bucket drivers stay out overnight on their longer runs, so that frees up a few spots in here and gives us more parking opportunities. So unlike Friday night where I had to park along the creek, I got a real parking spot. So we got our paperwork completed. Now all we got to do is walk around post-trip inspection and then take everything inside and turn it in, and then head on home. So that's pretty much it for today. I'm off tomorrow for an eye doctor appointment, like I mentioned earlier, and so the next video shooting day will probably be Wednesday, Thursday, and or Friday, depending on if there's anything interesting going on. As I mentioned to you earlier, where I got a little depressed, it's kind of hard to find interesting things to do anymore and things to talk about. It's a struggle when you do the same thing every day. So, but I'm trying to give you guys some good content. Bear with me. Some days I'm going to be happy. Some days, like today, I may start out happy and then get depressed, or whatever the case may be. But I'm trying my best for you guys. Maybe there's some changes in the future. We will see.